So, by way of conclusion now, I was thinking if we can talk very briefly, if you could tell us a little bit about, I really love this image and this idea of the turkey as being this identity that we all have ultimately, whether we're aware of it or not. Maybe part of the work is becoming aware of our turkeyness.
Absolutely.
Which is a fascinating idea. And extending that awareness from one's individual awareness to one's communal awareness within one specific community, if there is one specific community, to wider communities and beyond, to even communities that, as it were, the dominant community, as it sort of presents itself, understands itself, which says you are the other. Perhaps is there something to be said about recognizing our fellow turkeyness in them as well? Right.
So, in a kind of bluntly orientalizing moment, a yoga instructor might teach you something like Om Namah Shivaya, right? I see the divinity in you. Which is a wonderful idea that you can spot the divinity in other people. And I would suggest a similar sort of a frame of mind to say, I see the turkey in you. Because that's something that everyone shares, I think, in our sort of modernized or emancipated world. We share that. Everyone struggles with the invisible differences between themselves and the norm. And in a reality in which the norm is not defined by a person or group that we need to model, but it's fluid because it's relative. In that sense, if I can quote, we've spoken a lot about Foucault, we haven't said anything about Derrida, but I'll say the center is not the center. If I can offer one line of his, that is, if you imagine how you may overlay the topography of the Turkey prince surrounded by humans, right, or the stargazing king surrounded by turkeys or madmen, right, how you would overlay those. There is no center, right? Every person every individual of those surrounding the king is a turkey under the table in their own right, surrounded in turn, right, by kings who refuse to eat the wheat, or perhaps, as we've already flipped it, right, surrounded by turkeys who have eaten the wheat and is the king, right? And so in that kind of, when you try to overlay that, you see that there is no center. There is no king to which everyone aspires, whom, you know, we ought to be emulating as a stable anchor to normal. The norm is fluid and relative, which means that by definition, everyone maintains some difference from it. And everyone maintains some invisible difference from it. Some maintain visible differences from it as well, right? But the politically important is to be able to identify the fact that the invisible difference is determinate in some ways of inclusion and exclusion, and it can be manipulated in other ways than inclusion and exclusion of segregation, right, such as apartheid or other systems of the sort. But by training ourselves to see the turkey in everyone else, we will be training ourselves to see that the center is not the center. And that's both a kind of reconciliation mode between people, but also a great shift, epistemological shift in our ability to perceive, right, politics and representation around us. To see that the center is not the center, right? To make that difference visible, right? To make that difference visible, or at least to mark its invisibility, to mark the invisibility of this difference. That, I think, would be a good step to move past our predicament.
That's amazing. Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Lewis, and I look forward very much to further conversations with you.
Wonderful. Likewise.
Yeah, thank you.
Likewise.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.